It's Nigel on this Sunday evening. How you doing, my friends? And you know I like to get chatty, so let's have another guest to get chatty with, shall we? I saw a production called The Way Old Friends Do a few weeks back, a theatrical production, which again has very much a queer flavour, and it has ABBA in drag. I knew you'd be intrigued when I said that. Let's speak to the writer and the star of this fabulous production. Let's say good evening to top actor, Mr. Ian Hallard.
Hello there.
Good evening. Can I say first off, congratulations. I have seen The Way Old Friends Do recently, and as an ABBA fan, as a gay man, as just somebody who loves a little bit of camp, I absolutely loved it. For people that haven't had the joy of it yet, tell us the story of this brilliant production.
Well, the one-line pitch is two old school friends meet up after a gap of many, many years and decide to form the world's first ABBA tribute band, but the twist is that they decide to do it in drag. So yeah, that's it basically. And then the story follows the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs of the band as they hold auditions, rehearse, have their first gig, and then go on the road.
Well, let's explain how the old friends first get together, because it's on a hookup through a certain app that, you know, we've all been there. Obviously, they hadn't seen each other's faces because those pictures weren't exchanged. So it's actually a chance meeting that sort of springboards everything else, isn't it?
That's right. Yes. Just one of those little coincidences that you probably would think, oh, would it happen in real life? But I think because it's set in near Birmingham, set in the West Midlands, which is where I'm from originally, and I wanted to have that kind of local feeling. There is that thing of one of the characters, Edward, has moved away. He's moved down to Henley-on-Thames, and so he's just back visiting family. So in that way, I think there's only a handful of people in the local vicinity, so it's kind of inevitable that he ends up bumping into his old school friend on the app.
Let's talk about how autobiographical this is as well, because obviously I understand you are a massive ABBA fan, Ian. So when did this seed first germinate in your mind?
It was the summer of 2019, so officially before everything went pear-shaped, and we had a 2-year hiatus because of COVID. But yeah, I just decided I wanted to try writing something, and they say, write what you know. And I thought, well, okay, well, that'll be ABBA then. I did actually have a tweet from someone the other day who said how lovely it was to see a play about ABBA that was 100% accurate with all the sort of facts and everything. And I found myself thinking, what, as opposed to all those other plays out there that are only 35% accurate. But yeah, it was handy because obviously there are two types of plays you can write. You can either do something where you're a bit of a novice and you don't know much about it, and you have to do a lot of research and really get into and do a deep dive into all the facts. Or you can just choose something where all the facts are already at your fingertips and you don't have to Google a single item. And it was definitely the latter in my case.
Now, I loved watching it because for me as an ABBA fan, there were lots of fabulous little Easter eggs along the way and lyrics. And I'm like, oh, that's from such and such a song. But we've got to be clear, you don't need to be a massive ABBA fan to get the joy of The Way Old Friends Do, because it's very emotional. I mean, it's very it does pull at the heartstrings as well, doesn't it?
I hope so. I wanted to write something that felt kind of emotionally authentic, and although ABBA are the background, the story is basically the story of these 6 characters. So some of whom are not massive ABBA fans. In fact, only 2 of them are really. So yeah, you don't need to. It's not just 2 hours of obsessives kind of talking about ABBA. It's about their kind of ups and downs, romantic and friendship as well, which is the other kind of bond that runs through it. So I hope and I think it'll appeal to people who are, well, everyone's a fan of something. That's the thing. Everybody's got something that they feel that kind of passionate about. And I think Mark, my husband who directed it, he always likens it to Fever Pitch, which is all about being a football fan, but which he has no interest in whatsoever, but he really got into and loved the novel because it had a universality to it, and that's what I've been trying to aim for with this play.
Now, we must mention the husband as well, because you said it's directed by your husband, Mark, of course, Mark Gaydio, the legend that is. How easy is it working alongside your partner? Because I'm sure if I worked alongside my husband, we'd drive each other insane. Do you constantly sort of like bring work home when you're working together?
Well, we did a little bit on this. I mean, I think there was one morning where Mark was just like, okay, I think we need to have a little bit of a gap and not talk about the play just for this afternoon. which was fine. But no, I mean, we're quite lucky. We have collaborated on various projects over the years, and we've got a pretty good working relationship when it comes to things like that. And if we didn't, I mean, then we wouldn't have suggested him directing it. So no, it's all been fine, and we did say, obviously, following ABBA's example, that's not necessarily the best blueprint. Romantically attached couples working together and it all working out well. But as I said to Mark, I said, well, if we follow ABBA's example, then at least we know that in 40 years' time we'll reform in digital.
Now, this week, Mark, you are off to Brighton on tour. The tour goes right the way through until June. Obviously, Brighton is where ABBA won Eurovision back in 1974, which I know was the year of your birth as well. Obviously, I'm thinking about this week in Brighton. Surely you, as Agneta, and the rest of, Head Over Heels, the tribute band in the play, need to reenact a lot of what ABBA did in Brighton back in 1974. I'm thinking outside Brighton Dome, in the outfits, that would be good. Please, can we make that happen?
I'm actually the only one who gets to wear the Eurovision outfit in the show. The other three of them are in different versions of the costumes, but I'm the only one who actually gets to be in the full kind of blue outfit with the crocheted cap. So I don't know. We'd have to see if the wardrobe budget would stretch to making the costumes just for that photo shoot, and without them actually appearing on stage. I think our producers might balk at that, but who knows? That would be fun. Yes.
If not, just do it in the cat outfits, because they're divine anyway. And Ian, obviously, The Way Old Friends Do is on tour now. Where do people get tickets for this brilliant production?
The central website is thewayoldfriendsdo.com. So that's got a listing with all the different tour dates and information, and you can get tickets from there. And then, we're all going different parts of the country. After Brighton, we've got Oxford, York, Salford, various others. So it's all there, and all the usual Twitter, Instagram, Facebook things you can search and find us there as well.
It is a brilliant night out for Devotion, Desire and Dancing Queens, The Way Old Friends Do, on tour now. Ian, can I say thank you for joining us today? You really do rock, ABBA, I've got to say. You make a fantastic Agneta. But thanks for joining us today here on Gaydio. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Lovely to chat to you.